Coming up on UMass Sports Insider, we've hit the month of March, which means the postseason is right around the corner for UMass Hoops. We'll preview the madness that this year hits Brooklyn for the first time. Also, with the spring sports now in action, we hit warmer pastures and preview the season for the A10 powerhouse men and women's softball team. And you'll meet a UMass senior who comes from talented hockey bloodlines, with a last name that all fans of the sport will certainly recognize. All in the family, UMass Sports Insider. Let's go!
Now, the UMass Sports Insider, brought to you by Coca-Cola and Alden Credit Union.
It's always busy this time of year at the Mullins Center, but it was never more so than last week when the multi-purpose building hosted 7 events in a 6-day period, 3 hoops games, 3 hockey contests, and a concert. Last Saturday alone, the staff was pushed to the limit, having to change over from hardwood to ice following a 1 p.m. hoops game leading into a 7 o'clock outing for the hockey squad. As you can see in our time lapse, things went off without a hitch, and the UMass teams came away with a doubleheader sweep. We'll look back at highlights later on in our show. Well, hello and welcome to UMass Sports Insider. I'm your host, Josh Maurer, and also coming up on our show, we'll catch up with UMass alum and current NFL star wide receiver Victor Cruz, who made his way here to the Mullins Center last week. But we start by previewing an important A10 game coming up Saturday afternoon for Derek Kellogg and the UMass Minutemen as they try to battle for one of the top seeds in the upcoming Atlantic 10 tournament. They head to the Cintas Center in Cincinnati to take on Xavier. Here's a preview with head coach Kellogg.
Well, once again, we got a big game Saturday at the Cintas Center, Xavier University. Big game for the Minutemen, coming off a nice win over a Dayton team, but back to business. Xavier, a team that is playing very well, top the Atlantic 10 Conference, right up in the thick of things, in a game where we haven't won since 2001. A team, their freshman point guard is playing fantastic, a guy that he's probably going to be the freshman of the year in our conference, a player we have to really make the game hard on him. And the biggest thing for the Minutemen, as always, is to get the tempo moving. We have to play a fast-paced style, a game where it gets up and down the floor, and really let our pressure defense create some offense for the Minutemen. But I'm happy where our team's at. I think the guys are playing really hard. Caddy Lane's really emerging as a good big guy for us, and I'm excited to have a big-time opportunity to play a very good Xavier team where we haven't had a lot of success at the Cintas Center. Saturday, let's get it done.
The game tips off at 2 o'clock from Cincinnati on Saturday afternoon. You can watch it across the country on the CBS Sports Network. If not, listen on the radio or the internet on the UMass Sports Network. Well, later on this month, the Hoop Squad will head to the shiny and brand new Barclays Center in Brooklyn, the new home of the Atlantic 10 Basketball Championship. And as you're about to see, the entire league is very excited. With a look at it, here's Steve Toll.
The Atlantic 10 Tournament. For nearly a decade, this showcase of championship basketball has been played at Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City. But this March, the A10 moves to the Big Apple and the Barclays Center located in the borough of Brooklyn.
It's a phenomenal building. Obviously a great place to host a conference tournament. We're all thrilled to be a part of it.
Barclays Center was completed just last fall as the new home of the relocated Brooklyn Nets.
Our players would be even more excited if Jay-Z walked in the locker room. To say that the A10 isn't excited to play in Barclays would be an understatement. I mean, guys, I think will be juiced. It'll be lifelong memories to play in an NBA arena that's brand new, one of the best in the league by far, is exciting.
Minutemen point guard Chaz Williams is particularly excited about the new venue, having been born and raised in the area.
It's a true honor to be playing back at Brooklyn. A lot of fans and friends will be able to come out and see me play. Throughout my college career, I haven't had that, being all the way up here in Massachusetts. So, to finally get back home to Brooklyn to be real special.
And Brooklyn is embracing the return of its native son, using Williams' image in advertisements for the upcoming tournament on the arena.
A lot of people was calling my phone and texting me and telling me about it and, sending me pictures, and I never got to see it until one day I actually went up there to see it for myself, and it's pretty cool. I'm more than honored, just a blessing. Going back to Brooklyn, I can only imagine how many people will come to games, and I told people already, have to go through Ticketmaster to get the tickets or UMass Athletics, so, hopefully everything will go smooth as far as tickets and coming to see me play, but it should be pretty fun.
What a great homecoming for Chaz Williams. Taking it back to his house, Brooklyn, New York, and I think it's a great venue for the Atlantic 10 Conference to be in one of the biggest media markets in the world. The A10 Championship, the Barclays Center, nothing better.
For UMass Sports Insider, I'm Stephen Toll.
Thank you, Steve. It's time to turn to hockey, and before this senior's career ends, Eddie Olczyk is trying to help lead his team into the Hockey East playoffs. Throughout his life, Eddie has had plenty of support from a hockey-crazed family. With more, let's go in the bunker. Here's Cody Crushell with Eddie Olczyk.
While they may not be as well known as the Howes or the Hulls, the Olczyks continue to carve out their family hockey legacy. Eddie Olczyk is a senior forward on the UMass hockey team. His younger brother Tommy is a sophomore for Penn State's first-year Division I hockey program. Their father Ed, now a TV analyst for NBC Sports and the Chicago Blackhawks, spent 16 seasons as an NHL player and 2 more on the bench as head coach of the Pittsburgh Penguins. And his brother Ricky is the assistant GM for the Edmonton Oilers.
A lot of the kids I went to school with, they'd be talking about the games the next day at school and talking about players and stuff, and it was just kind of funny for me because I'd be in the locker room and I'd be hanging out with those guys, while my dad was playing. So it's just something you don't really think about, but then when people talk to you about it, you're just kind of like, wow, I guess I really was a lot closer to the action than most people.
With the lockout now over, the elder Olczyk has been busy, calling roughly 5 games a week. But when he had some extra downtime earlier this season, he enjoyed making the rounds to watch his 3 sons play.
He surprised me one game at Yale. He was standing in the front row on the glass, and I took a shot and came around the corner for warm-ups and saw him there just standing there, and he got a nice laugh with a couple of my teammates. So it was definitely a really great experience to have him there.
It was a blessing in disguise to get a chance to have the freedom and the ability to be able to go see a UMass player, head to Penn State, and see them play. Most weekends I was out there watching and supporting the boys and getting a chance to visit with them after the games. And also, too, I have a younger son that's playing travel hockey, so I get a chance to help coach his team and move around a little bit. So it was a lot of fun, that's for sure.
When he works the games, if my brother or I are playing, he's got a computer on the side, and he's got split screen. He's watching both games at the same time while he's calling our game. And it's pretty crazy because he does a great job at what he does.
The Olczyk family motto might as well be have stick, will travel. Eddie was born in Toronto and has called 9 different cities home, moving around for his father's and his own hockey careers. And having a well-known father has its perks, including a few extra Twitter followers.
I clearly stated in my bio on Twitter that I'm not Big Edzo. I put stop it right here. But sometimes he'll get a text from a guy or two that he knows and say, hey, I saw you on Twitter, and he's just got to clarify for him that it's not him. But I would say a good chunk of them think I'm him.
And while hockey may be the Olczyk's primary discussion topic, it's certainly not the only thing on the docket.
We talk a lot about what's going on in practice and in games, but also what's going on in school and what else he is doing away from hockey. So it's probably 50-50. I mean, maybe back 5-6 years ago it was probably more like 90-10, where it was hockey and then 10% everything else. But it's probably 50-50 when we talk about hockey and everything else.
When I talk to my brother, very little of our conversation revolves around hockey. We probably talk at least once a week, sometimes 2 or 3 times a week. He's always sending me Snapchats, making these crazy faces that he makes, making little inside jokes that we have. So, we try to keep our conversation away from the ice rink as much as possible.
Hockey's been a part of their life. I played it for as long as I did, and we have a plaque in our basement that says we interrupt this family for hockey season, and that's 24/7, 365 days a year.
Thank you, Cody, and good luck to Eddie as his career winds down here at UMass. Well, it's time for us to break. We're going away for just a few moments, but on the other side, we've got highlights galore, including some from a UMass football player who showcased his talents in front of the largest audience of pro scouts there is. That plus a recap of last weekend's doubleheader sweep at Mullins. Don't go away.
Yeah, we're just waiting on the appraisal to come in. Just give me a minute, man. Yeah, we'll get that back in a week or so. Have a great day.
Alden Credit Union is the official credit union of UMass Athletics. Alden Credit Union. Banking, no boundaries.
How's the orange juice, Adam?
Refreshing. It's Minuteman made.
Alden Credit Union is the official credit union of UMass Athletics. Alden Credit Union. Banking, no boundaries.
Plays 00 just once. And sometimes, absolutely nothing becomes absolutely everything. Among life's millions of moments, some of the very best are made by Mohegan Sun. When it's your time to shine, come see us.
It's easy to fall, but it takes everything you got to get back up.
Defeat is only a mindset, but winning is a habit.
UMass takes on Butler in the final home game of the regular season.
You're watching the UMass Sports Insider.
Welcome back. Last week, for the second straight year, UMass football had a graduating senior participate in the famous NFL Combine. Offensive lineman Stephon Milham followed in the steps of Emil Iguanagu with a solid performance in front of the scouts and front office executives. Iguanagu would end up on the Philadelphia Eagles active roster this season, following his strong showing at the Combine. We'll see in the coming months if Milham can repeat that and find his way to an NFL job for next season. And welcome back. Earlier in the show, we showed you how here at the Mullins Center there was a hoops and hockey doubleheader held last Saturday in one of the busiest days of the year. Well, it's time to look at highlights. A win for Coach Kellogg's team against Dayton, followed up by a big victory with critical Hockey East points earned for Coach Micheletto and the boys against Maine. Here it is, instant replay, the doubleheader at Mullins.
Corner has the ball. Freddie lobbing inside for Lelaine, who had the position, spinning to the rim, banks it up and in. That's a great finish. Caddy Lelaine. Finally, it slows down. Alley-oop for Freddie Riley. And a dunk from the right baseline from Chaz. Threw that ball in the air about 30 feet. Seven of 9 from the field, 2 of 3 at the line. Lelaine blocking Dillard at the rim. Rebound Esho up to Chaz Williams. Williams, alley-oop, Esho trailing the play. Esho gets the dunk.
The Angry Bird.
And a timeout, Dayton. Wow, what a pass.
I thought he was going to Freddie there, and then it kind of just a little hesitation.
Williams has the ball now, 5 to shoot. Williams through the lane, lobs it up. Got it. Tough shot, only his third field goal. UMass 62-60. Chaz gets the screen from Lelaine. Nice pass. Sampson Carter on the baseline. Banks it up and in. That was a Chaz bullet pass to Sampson. It's Williams. 12 on the shot clock. Lelaine sets the screen. Williams goes to Vincent instead for a big three. And he knocks it in.
Senior. Case there where Mike Pereira had to take the face-off. Gracel was tossed and Pereira lost it. 2-on-1 there. Gracel and Pereira. Gracel also shoots and scores! The decoy coming down the right side was Mike Pereira. Gracel elected to shoot. He went top corner on Martin Roulette. Midpoint, Gracel, top of the face-on circle, slap shot, right pad, save, rebound, score! It was Zach LaRue on the rebound. Just as the power play expired, it'll be an even strength goal at 2:55. UMass 3, Maine 2. Bad clearing attempt by the Blackbird. Hanley sidesteps both defenders. Goes to the high slot. Shot! Score! Great play by Hanley to sidestep 2 defenders. It's 4-2 UMass. Cherry. It was 3-2, can you imagine? Kevin Zepio racing on left wing side. Has an empty net. Tosses it to it and scores! Kevin Zepio, rather, and the Minutemen will earn the weekend split.
And here's hoping there's more victories like that coming up this weekend. Well, as we step aside on the program, we invite you to stay with us because on the other side, we hit the softball diamond and preview the year for Coach Elaine Sortino's bunch as they try for yet another conference championship. Stay with us.
Hi, I'm Steve DeMarco. Wherever your destination, Premier is your solution.
Our reputation as an industry leader is built on service, safety, and the guaranteed best price. At Premier, safety stands above all else. Our fleet is serviced on-site by our certified technicians. Premier will customize your travel needs all within your budget, and we can even accommodate your travel requirements worldwide. With Premier Bus Lines, you'll be in good hands when safely aboard one of our comfortable brand new 2012 high-capacity buses.
Premier, an extraordinary experience, guaranteed.
Book your wedding with award-winning UMass Catering. We can host, design, and plan your big event from full breakfasts, lunches, to elegant wedding receptions and dinners. UMass Catering can host events in one of our ballrooms that overlook campus, tented outdoors, or our own Renaissance house. The possibilities are endless. Let the culinary team at UMass Catering bring creative menus and exceptional service to your wedding day. Special rates for members of the UMass family and alumni. The UMass Hotel and Conference Center was voted the best hotel in Amherst. Situated on the beautiful University of Massachusetts campus, the UMass Hotel and Conference Center is where you stay to be in the heart of it all. With 116 contemporary guest rooms, free wireless internet, room service, 36 meeting rooms, free parking, and in walking distance to downtown Amherst, the UMass Hotel and Conference Center has it all.
Remember when you got your car? We were able to get you the best loan. And when you bought your house, you knew you could count on us for an affordable mortgage. But you probably associate credit cards with big banks, whose rates just end up getting you deeper in debt. Not anymore. As a nonprofit, we can offer you a credit card at a much lower rate than the big banks. Introducing the Alden Credit Card. Come on in and talk with us. At Alden Credit Union, we take your whole life into account.
It's always a pleasure. It's always good being back, checking out a basketball game. Being a guy that comes through and just shows his love, shows his support for the Minutemen, man. It's always my pleasure to come back here and just show my love for the game, the love for the sport, and love for the school. So it felt good to be back, man. Everybody enjoys it, so I enjoy it, so it's fun. That was great. I've never been to Hawaii in my life, and to go out there, brought the whole family with me, and to play in that game was just a dream come true, and to do so well, and to score a touchdown, all that stuff just felt great. So I was excited about it, and it was definitely overall just a dream come true. It's been good. It's been good. Kind of just relaxed. Been doing a little bit of traveling, but just kind of relaxed, just kind of soaking it all in, just kind of, preparing myself for the next chapter of my life and the next chapter of my career. So we'll see how it goes, but so far it's been going well. I think it's just an adjustment. Just like anything, any movement from a lower tier to a higher tier, it's going to be an adjustment. It's going to be things you got to work on. You got to bring in, some 1A talented, some 1A type talents into this program to get it going, get it off the ground. And I think it's just going to be, it can only go up from here. And I think once they bring in new facilities and new kids, recruiting is going to be, special for us. And I think we're going to do a good job, and we're going to be able to compete with some of the best teams in the FBS level.
It is always great to see Victor Cruz, now an NFL star, come back to his roots here at UMass. Great to have him for that basketball win against Dayton. Well, head coach Elaine Sortino and the UMass softball program won its 23rd Atlantic 10 championship last spring, but they lost some key pieces from that squad, including in the circle. And as they try to reload, they're going up against some very difficult competition in the early season tournaments. With a look at this season's team, let's go to Hugh Zeitlin.
Having reached the NCAA tournament 17 of the last 18 years, the UMass softball team is once again tabbed as the preseason favorite in the Atlantic 10 for 2013. But as the Minutewomen aim for their 24th A10 title, they'll do so without three-time All-American hurler Sarah Plord. Plord, who graduated last year, not only led the nation in strikeouts each of the past 3 seasons, but paced the UMass offense with 11 home runs in 2012.
This year more than ever, we're going to have to play a little bit more defense. You know, my years with Brandis and SP, they were a little bit more strikeout pitchers, and this year, not so much, and that's okay. So it's got to get more consistent on defense and making the plays.
Our pitching situation is going to be a work in progress. I think everybody needs to clearly understand that these 3 injured pitchers have not pitched competitively in 2 years. I think we're going to take our lumps early, but there's great hope in the future with them. You know, I think we're going to start rocky, and hopefully we'll have a great finish.
The pitching may be a question mark, but there's little doubt that the Minutewomen offense, which batted 15 points higher than any other A10 squad in 2012, will once again be a balanced, formidable unit.
I think you're going to see like a Taylor Carbone and a Tiffany Meeks. You know, I think those people swing a pretty heavy-duty bat. You can't rule out a Lindsay Webster. We had a lot of people that have been waiting in the wings to get into that lineup, so you know, I feel confident, you know, offensively that we'll be able to put things together.
All-American center fielder Sindel Matthew set a school record for steals last season and will set the table again this year, while freshman Taylor Carbone, a 2-time New Hampshire High School Player of the Year, will assume the starting second base job after the graduation of all-conference infielder Kylie McGill. Carbone will team with reigning A10 Rookie of the Year shortstop Brianna Diaz-Patterson to form one of the best young infield duos in the conference.
I think 1 through 9 we're so strong, and it's not like, you know, an easy out. We're not an easy out 1 through 9 in the lineup.
And Elaine Sortino, who's entering her 34th year as head coach of the Minutewomen, believes it will all come back to pitching.
I think our pitching becoming reliable. The word I look to is consistent and reliable. You know, our defense has great capability, and I think that we have offense 1 through 9 this year. So, you know, I think that the pitching will be the key. You know, when that key turns, the other two aspects of the game fall into place.
I'm Hugh Zeitlin for UMass Sports Insider.
I'd like to wish the softball team good luck this year. I'm Zach LaRue, number 18 for UMass Hockey, and when we return, we're going to find out some of my teammates' favorite sports movies.
It's easy to fall, but it takes everything you got to get back up. Defeat is only a mindset, but winning is a habit.
UMass takes on Butler in the final home game of the regular season.
The UMass license plate says it all.
You don't have to be a sports star. Any UMass fan can be a star with a UMass license plate.
Ride with UMass pride.
Order your license plate at UMassAlumni.com. All proceeds benefit UMass.
What's that great old saying about strangers? They're just friends you haven't met yet. Among life's millions of moments, some of the very best are made by Mohegan Sun. When it's your time to shine, come see us.
You're watching the UMass Sports Insider.
Hey, welcome back. It's lighter side time. Well, we just had the Oscars handed out last weekend, so in honor of the big night for the movies, we started thinking, what favorite sports flicks do some of the UMass athletes have? So we asked them. Here it is, the Alden Credit Union lighter side.
My favorite sports movie of all time it's got to be Remember the Titans. It's got to be Remember the Titans, absolutely. Watch that. I could probably watch that movie over and over again and not get sick of it.
Love and Basketball for sure. Yeah, that's my favorite movie of all time.
Oh, of all time, not just sports.
Yeah, I love that movie.
Mystery Alaska is a pretty good one. So, yeah, some good NHL stuff in there and just a good storyline.
Semi-Pro. Semi-Pro is just a really funny movie. Comedy-wise, I'd say Semi-Pro.
Holy Miracle. I don't know. I just love it. Yeah, I used to watch it all the time when I was back home, so.
Miracle. I'll do Miracle. We watch that like a lot on our bus trips, I think, like once a year.
It's somewhat like a sports, but it's not. But it's with cartoon Space Jam. That gotta be in there. Space Jam, definitely love Bugs Bunny and all of them, Michael Jordan and them. So.
Is there anything you take into the sport of lacrosse from the movie Remember the Titans?
Well, it gives you inspiration, you know what I mean? That movie is one of the all-time classics, you know what I mean? So you watch that and you kind of get amped up to go out on the field.
You know, it's a love story, girly flick, but also has basketball, which is something I love.
Isn't that the one where they get Little Richard to go and sing the national anthem for like 5 minutes?
Yeah, and he's freezing out there, and he can't do it or whatever because his voice is just way too cold up in Alaska. Yeah.
Jackie Moon, right?
Jackie Moon is a man. I used to look like him too with my hair, so I mean, didn't really have a hairband like that. But yeah, I definitely like Will Ferrell.
When they were like doing the sprints, I thought that was really interesting.
That's what I was going to say, when he makes him skate over and over.
Yeah, that was like a really intense moment.
We've had that kind of punishment once
Your
in a while.
coach does that to you?
Well, not like that, but like we like have definitely had times where we're not like playing how we should be, and then she wants us to learn from that and we get in the line sometimes.
All of the cartoon characters playing basketball.
The Monstars.
Yeah, oh my gosh, yeah. I don't know how they get so big like that, but yeah, it's definitely fun to watch.
If you were one character, who would you be? Don't say Sunshine.
No, Sunshine, absolutely. I'd probably Rev, the quarterback.
Oh, Rev, yeah.
Rev, the quarterback. He's a fast guy. I can consider myself pretty fast, so he's got good spirits on the field, so I'd probably consider myself to be him.
Joanna Man.
Oh, that's a great one. Joanna Man was hilarious. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would happen in real life, but it was still hilarious.
Russell Crowe's in it.
Oh yeah, he's like the hometown hero, isn't he?
He's like the older guy who's. They're not sure if he should be on the team still, but he's been doing it for so long. But
do you think he can really skate in real life?
Not that well, probably.
Did you grow your hair like that because of Jackie Moon?
I did not. I grew my hair out starting in 6th grade just because I thought I was going to, like, I like the Bieber look, I thought I was going to have that to impress the ladies, but it came out all curly and wild.
I mean, I love hockey. I love watching it. It's so intense. In Australia, like, we're basically in the outback. It's always sunny for the most part, so yeah, it's fun.
She blows the whistle and says, again.
Yeah.
Again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You can sing too, right?
Oh, yeah, you can sing, yeah. I'm not a big singer, but that maybe I could acquire that in the future.
Have you played in anything close to those outdoor Alaskan temperatures?
I played outdoor in Calgary once. That was pretty cold, but nothing too bad like that, probably. That was probably ridiculous.
I mean, that was like negative 20 degrees or something, right?
Yeah, that's something ridiculous. Probably couldn't do it.
There's certainly no shortage of great sports movies to choose from. Well, that's it for our program this week. We thank you so much for joining. Don't forget to tune in next week as it's our season finale of UMass Sports Insider. We will look ahead to what's coming up in the off-season for the UMass teams. Until then, I'm Josh Maurer, and have a great weekend.
The UMass Sports Insider, brought to you by Coca-Cola, Alden Credit Union, Adidas, UMass Catering, the UMass Alumni Association, and UMassathletics.com.